It was an exciting day at Chifton Elementary as the 8th annual Spelling Bee was about to begin. Two different groups participated in the Spelling Bee. One was composed of the academically advanced students, and the other for the general education students. The two groups were known as the Brainiacs and the Underdogs, respectively. The Brainiacs were the brightest students, and they were the pride and joy of the school. They were so talented, in fact, that the school had acquired several accolades and was on the track to become the best school in the state. Unfortunately, there was one little problem: the underdogs. Every school has them, that group of students that just aren't quite up to snuff. They were the ones with no bright future ahead that tended to cause interruptions for the teachers and never paid attention in class. Chifton had a mission to become the top school, and they needed to beat the underdogs into submission so that they could begin to perform up to the standards of satisfaction needed for the school. The principal gathered all of the teachers for a faculty meeting, and although some seemed unimpressed with the principal's request, they all agreed that encouraging students to perform better would be for the best. They brainstormed for a while, coming up with solutions ranging from sensible to most extreme. After a long brainstorming session, they all decided on a decent in-between. The most ambitious teachers were not worried in the least that their underdogs would adjust and perform well. Even sweet old Mrs. Gleam was convinced that the idea was not as bad as it seemed. The Brainiacs portion of the event was held publicly for all to attend. Although some parents complained about the underdog spelling bee, the Brainiacs event was so publicized that no one suspected that there could possibly be another event taking place. What reporters and onlookers saw when they came to the event was a nice setup in the school auditorium with food vendors selling an assortment of snacks for people to eat as they watched the kids with their stunning display of intelligence. All potential for outrage was soon mollified when they saw how happy everyone looked and how well the gym had been set up for the crowd. The Chifton 8th Annual Spelling Bee was a roaring success, and everyone left in a good mood, feeling secure that there was nothing sinister happening at the school. All of the attention on the Brainiacs, and it steered the conversation and reporters away from the other event that was being held simultaneously in the basement of the school for the underdogs. The underdogs represented the worst of the class and as the least likely to succeed. The concept of the underdog spelling bee was simple. If a student spelled a word correctly, then they would move on to the next round. If a student spelled a word incorrectly, then they would receive a punishment related to the word that they had missed. The first year proved to be a roaring success. The teachers beamed with delight as their students succeeded in each round. Sentences. 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 Detention. 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 The students did so well in their attempt to avoid punishment that only 5 out of 20 failed before the final round. As the worst of the underdogs got better at school, so did the school's reputation. Their reputation, however, was still precarious, and it was dependent on continual academic improvement. In the 3rd year of the underdog event, one of the teachers had the idea to have the Brainiacs choose the words for the underdogs. The teachers agreed, but none of them were prepared for what was to come. What the teachers did not see was that the division of the students had turned the Brainiacs towards cruelty to those they felt were lesser than them. The Brainiacs, in their purported superiority, knew what they wanted to do and ran their own mock trial. With no teachers in attendance and with a school-wide knowledge of the punishment system, the Brainiacs did something unimagined. The first round was puncture. PUNKTERE. Puncture. "Oh, I'm sorry," said the lead Brainiac. "That's incorrect." The student was then held against his will and given a puncture wound. By the end of the night, someone lost a hand by a lathe, and someone else suffocated to death after being left in a duffel bag. Chifton Elementary lost all of its state accreditation and was lost in ruin to a PR nightmare. The school is closed, but one can still hear the screams of the underdogs as they play their forever spelling bee.